Alright, I'm driving. This is a typical, I gotta put my seatbelt on, Pickleball Traveler Cam post. All of y'all are probably accustomed to it if you've seen this channel. It's crazy, it's wild, and it makes no sense. It's also never in order, or I'll post something and then I won't do the follow-up post because I get too busy, or my anxiety gets in, or I do too many projects at once. I hope that's about to change. I really do. Especially because I don't really like that guy. I don't like the guy who's always rushing around doing way too much so then he can't truly, I don't know, be still and rest in what God has for him. Recently, I think God has been teaching me, sorry, my allergies are terrible. We're in Texas, cannot breathe. Recently, God has been teaching me a lot every day. And every day I think, oh, the lesson will be over and I will have made it to the next lesson. And God just keeps reminding me that it's the same lesson. It's the same thing. It can show itself in different forms. It can show itself in different anxieties. It can show itself in so many ways in my life. And so tonight, I am going to go somewhere special to me and honor someone who didn't make it in their life and is no longer with us but in heaven, and then honor some people who made it, myself included. I mean, I'm not honoring myself, but yeah, I made it. Like, I'm still alive, and you know, sometimes the desire to live is more powerful and more scary than the desire to die. That sounds suicidal, but it's not. There's many people who don't get to choose their last moment. It just happens. And there's other people who choose it. And they make a lot of bad decisions. And they end up in a lot of bad situations. And usually drugs and alcohol is a big factor in that, or addiction. Sometimes it's mental health. Other times it's a sandwich of all of it. I think in my scenario, the things I've struggled with mentally have affected my physical health to a point that I'm on crutches and I have a wheelchair in the back of my car. And this isn't the first time. And it won't be the last that I am on crutches or wheelchair. In fact, it'll probably be on and off for a long time. Maybe the next 2 years, maybe the rest of my life. And I will say I am 100% at peace with my physical health. Like 100% at peace. But there are times where that peace tends to leave me. And it usually is related to my cell phone. Whether it's someone wanting me to sell them money for a business deal, or, hey, can you Venmo me for that $5 we split at lunch? Sorry, for that Starbucks we split. Or me Venmoing everyone. Because a lot of the time with my friends, we just go and I pay this time, he pays that time. And I've learned that financial boundaries are important too, because that can stress people out just as much, whether you're on the receiving end or the sending end. And that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's just an anxiety disorder. So, I don't know, I didn't bring a tripod. I didn't bring any of that stuff, because this is me being real. This is my box of stuff. There's Dr. Pepper, there's soda, there's some booze, there's some flowers, and we're gonna go honor the people in my life / people who are close to me. All right, guys, I gotta drag this thing. All right. I'm gonna drag it over to the pole in front of Firestone. I'll go this around. Firestone, yep. And the Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins in Arlington, Texas. And just because the crutch is too much for me, and dragging, I'm gonna put the crutch down because I don't want to put weight on my left leg at all. I really can't, to be honest. So we're gonna just set the crutch down right here, right where Karn happened. I mean, I think it was right there. A lady should have died. And right here on this high voltage sign, a freshman should have died. Freshman in high school, I believe. And there were no heroes that day. There wasn't. Look, the pole's back. It's a new pole. I mean, I don't even know if there's skid marks anymore down the highway. But people keep asking me to tell a story on how I got hurt or something. And to be honest, I don't want to tell the story. There's a young person involved and an older person involved, and one who probably got arrested for being on drugs. Probably, I know what happened. They swerved into someone else, and that person went through a pole. And civilians before fire department and before EMT paramedics who train and sacrifice nonstop to help people, civilians stepped in and helped. And then the fire department got here and did their job. The police got here and did their job. Shout out to Gunnar Stolson. I shouldn't use his full name, but for making captain. Without you, I probably wouldn't know what a brother would be like, because you are my brother. And there's some random dude yelling at me, but that's okay. I'm gonna limp over on my one leg, holding my box. Shout out to my little sister. I'm not gonna use her full name because she'd kill me. She doesn't like social media because she's smart. She works in emergency rooms and has on and off. She's unbelievable for her size to get certified and all the stuff she does. They're my heroes. Man, I wanted to become a firefighter. I think it was everything I ever wanted, honestly. It took me a while to get to that realization. And me and my wife at that time moved to Hawaii to do one more year of racket sports, of having fun, of goofing off a kid's job. It really was a kid's job. It still is. Pickleball, padel, tennis, all of them. You know what? I hope people are playing them in heaven, but they're a game. And so November 20, what is it? I think Halloween's the 31st. I'm not sure, of October. So, yeah, 2 days before that, on Wednesday, 2 days before that, there's an accident in this spot. I worked after it. I went to work. I tried to push through the pain of that because I thought I needed to. I thought I had to. This video isn't about me. My point is, if you're in pain physically, go get it taken care of. And rest. That's everything about me is over. Crutches down. Gotta figure out how to prop the phone up. I'm gonna prop the phone up right here. You know what, we're gonna prop it. It's old school, like I would have done for everyone who knew me in college or high school. This is how I would have filmed something stupid. I'm sure. Let's see if you can see that. I almost posted on accident. That's what I do best. All right, there's the post. The phone falls over, the video's over. There's no mic. No glory in being hurt. I don't know if I can smoke this, to be honest. It's just a Black and Mild, if I'm still on here. Me and my aunt used to smoke these together because I didn't do drugs. And here we go. Not that she was full-time, but there we go. Yeah, that little plastic tip. Literally the worst thing to smoke in the world is a Black and Mild with a plastic tip. But one in college and never wanting to do a painkiller or drug in my whole life because of how many people I saw it ruin their lives. I resorted to the wood tips of these, but I couldn't find them today. And I also don't even like them. Another thing is these mini fireballs. She used to give them to me because, well, she was an addict. And when she would get sober, or even if she wasn't, she wanted to give her grandkids, or sorry, her nieces and nephews. But she was adopted, so into our family. But she wanted to give them something nice at Christmas. And she always made sure I was of age when she gave them to me, and I always said no until I was 21. Goodbye, Fireball. You aren't helping anybody. You never were. Oh, Cayman Jack. I can't even stand the sugar in these. It's a cool bottle. I like design creation. But the best thing about it is they're twist off, so you can pour them out. Because they never helped anybody if they're used in the wrong capacity. Not saying that alcohol, weed, cocaine, yeah, that's a hardcore drug, but alcohol, weed, natural herbs, like things like that, I don't know. I have a weird relationship with them when it comes to my spirituality. I'm not saying they're a sin, but putting something above God that's an idol. So, goodbye, Cayman Jack. Hopefully didn't break anything. Oh shoot. There's something I actually do like to drink. It's a Ladybird soda. It has 4 grams of sugar, but it's gluten-free. And it reminds me of like the old school Dublin Dr. Pepper. Sorry, I keep looking up. I'm worried a car will swerve and it's a normal spot. I'm gonna roll out of the way behind something if it does, because I'm good at evading accidents. All right, Ladybird, that's a good one. What else is healthy? That's not even healthy, by the way. This is Cameron healthy. Oh, my old addiction right here, Dr. Pepper. Man, my favorite thing on earth, if you ask anyone other than people, is a Dr. Pepper. Usually a Dublin Dr. Pepper, but that's kind of gone away, and that's okay. When I landed in Maui, literally after we got my Kawasaki dual sport bike from the dealership, like we landed, did a required drug test that I had to take for my job, left there, went to the dealership, picked up my motorcycle, and then drove around trying to find a Dr. Pepper in Hawaii. This was years ago, so H-E-B had them and some vending machines. It's gotten way better, but yeah, Dr. Pepper, also bad for you. Lots of sugar. Dang, I'm gonna get soaked. The grass is filtering it right back into the bucket. That's great. Next thing, after you throw out your Dr. Pepper. Well, honestly, everything I have left I want to keep. Because I didn't sort through this or plan this. I didn't sort through this or plan this, but if you are a YouTuber or you do camera stuff and you know what an Insta360 camera looks like, you know that this is a almost immaculate Insta360. I believe this is the Gen 4. No, it's the Gen 3. 3X right there. It's on the screen. That's awesome. Let's put this down and try not to create a fire. This is a 3X. The problem with this is the bottom, the hole came out because it hit so hard, this little piece popped out of it. Like right there. I can push it back in, but it won't stay until I bend it back. The difference is I fixed it to where it'll stick, but I have to push that back in with the needle nose plier without breaking the software inside. Well, the camera works great. I refixed it so it works. And then, you know, the battery works. I don't want to start serial metal, but like everything about it works. Except I couldn't get to the finish line. Well, I could, just too busy of pushing this thing back in. So I'm saving this and all the pieces because I'm gonna use it, because 2 angles is better than 1. Or 2 360s on either side of a court or anything. It's just so cool. That can go, actually that's going in my pocket, not in the box. And I'm gonna keep this little thing up here so I don't lose it. The box is all trash now. There you go. It's all trash. There's another camera mount thing. There's 2 lighters. Hey, that's what my aunt would have done. She would have had multiple lighters that don't work well. All right, guys, this is the part where I just want to make it about this memorial, if you will, because this person did not die. That's all that matters. I was going to pour out the alcohol and the flowers, but I don't even know if she has ever struggled with anything like that. But these flowers were my favorite color post-college. I don't know what color she likes. You don't want to know. Just glad she made it. All right, I'm gonna open it up to questions in the chat, I guess. I don't freaking know. The next 2 questions that are appropriate, I will answer. If they're not appropriate, I'm not answering them. And I mean like appropriate being like content-wise. Thomas Welch, wish dude. Say hi, Little Japan praying for you. Thank you, Little Japan. Daniel Castro, get a job, just kidding. Bro, I have too many jobs. Problem is they're all like 1099 and nonprofit stuff and like businesses. None of them pay a regular check until I think this Friday. So, but. Daniel Castro, I feel like I know you. Lesha Williams, I feel like I know that person. Lisa Williams. Lesha, I don't know. Add a Q&A sticker. I don't know how this works. I don't like to do this for these reasons, but people kept asking me to, I don't know, I kept getting asked questions because my life's a train wreck. I'm all over the place. Trying to fly to an event in Maui in January, and before that I'm going to Houston this weekend and things like that. And when you're that all over the place and you can't remember your schedule because your freaking head hurts, you have a tendency to overspeak and become manic, which I struggle with too. Anxiety leading to manic and all that. So come off a little crazy, and I've been working on that, on slowing down. The Carrollton Foot Center has been unbelievable, getting me in and out of MRIs late at night. Speaking of which, it itches! And getting me set up to hopefully have a better recovery plan soon, starting with the foot, then the left knee, then hopefully the right hand. Then working on some neck stuff. But this video wasn't about me. Why do I keep going back to me? yeah, if you drive down Arlington, there's a weird area where Green Oaks and Little and, man, basically Highway 20 all connect. Like, they're all a mess. And there's a beautiful church nearby called More Church. Because we all need more church in our life. And that's how I'm going to say it. Because it's not about indoctrinating anyone. It's about the fact that every single person on this globe is struggling with something. Or they are in a situation where they've stopped struggling with something and they've moved on to the next struggle or the next anxiety or the next hurdle. For a long time in my life, I feel like I never let there be a finish line at the end of the race because of my sports background. I just kept going, even if I was limping. So right now I'm making the joke that my left leg is the tortoise. I don't know if I'm showing it correctly. And my right leg is the hare, because I can dunk a basketball off my right leg if I am stationary, just by jumping currently. But if I do that, I could fall and destroy the rest of my left leg. And all the rehab I did to get healthy, like slowly, while I was trying to wait on the Lord and try and be more slow. Now, I wasn't doing it well, like, don't get me wrong, but I took a job solely so I could sleep in more, not have to manage my schedule as tightly, and focus on getting healthy. Now, did I do it well? No. Half the time I went home and was mad about the pain, and then video gamed or played some stupid collectible game or sat outside by a bonfire angry that I was in pain. And I would smoke it, cigar it away, or drink it away. Not to like where I'd go out and kill somebody, like on accident, like DUI stuff, but like just not taking care of myself, not taking care of the people around me that matter, my family and friends. So when this is done, which I'm hoping it's done soon because they're disgusting, you know what? I don't need to finish it. That's the best part of it. That's why there's asphalt. But make sure you knock it out, because I'm not trying to have ash around a high voltage thing. And then throw it back somewhere and do not litter. Littering is stupid. God gave us this earth. Let's take care of it. That's a funny one for Kelson. If you remember frisbee golf on the way up to Haleakala, because you literally have to hike your stuff down or find a trash can. And that man, despite all his flaws, because we're all flaws, no matter what, finds a place or biodegradable to make sure all the litter, everything gets thrown in a trash can, not on God's earth. And so shout out to him. That's a good lesson. Like, no matter where you're at, no matter how long you have to hold on to it, put it in your pocket, strap it to yourself, bungee it to yourself, just put it in a trash can. I got everything else I need. But yeah, this is a special spot to me now every time I drive by. And it's not something that I wince at. In fact, I made this turn earlier today, going that way to go deposit at my bank over there. And then there's a Starbucks and my church is over there. And this place will forever be special to me. This spot with the booze going down the street. I'm not going to do any questions. I really don't care. I've learned that if you care about what other people think about you, you're not usually focused on what your relationship with God is like. Like, who are you caring about? Like, why do you care about what other people say about you? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. What matters is you're true to your word and you do what you say and you honor God. And I don't always get those in the right order. I don't. I hope whoever this person was, I know a little bit, I hope she lives an amazing life. I hope she accomplishes amazing goals, but that's not my responsibility. I hope she cures cancer. My My responsibility is to my family, and I have a lot of them. But even then, my responsibility is to God, health, family, work. At Pickleball Kingdom, North Texas, God Family Work is a great model. You got to live it, you got to do it, and you got to stand by what you say. It doesn't matter what you say, it matters how you execute. Not execute, how you deliver, right? It matters. It affects people's lives. I'm not calling anyone out with that specifically, but I think the pyramid was broken. God, family, work. Well, if in between God and family and work, there's health disorders, there's addiction, there's mental health, the pyramid will not work. It's broken. It doesn't matter what intention you have. It doesn't matter if you went into it trying to save pickleball, if you went into it trying to save some stupid kids game. There'll be someone else with different morals, with a different business model, who'll come along and make it better. So I was a part of a team that I'm not proud of. I'm proud of individual members on that team. I really am. I'm not going to name them, but certain members of that leadership team, I would drive to and bail out of a drunk tank if I had to. I would love to be there for their weddings. I would love to be there for any celebration. But at this juncture, I'm taking care of me so I can take care of my internal family. And that comes first. There's exciting news to come, guys. I'm kind of dropping the pickleball traveler cam thing. I think I'm just going to be traveler cam or just cam. Or just literally my first name, which in my family, you usually don't go by your first name until you have grandkids, if you're the firstborn son. And so I'm struggling with that. Sometimes you'll see stuff under Leo. Sometimes you'll see stuff under Cam. Guess what? It's, oh, that's cool. Dude's telling another dude. It's not two people. It's just me. I have no twin. I make that joke a lot. But Pickleball Traveler Cam on live, if he doesn't get hit by a car, is out. And I'm going to sleep well tonight. And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to recover and take care of my body. And that's not going to stop me from pursuing my goal. There's a whole bunch of Bible verses I want to go into right now, but I'm just going to go into a quote someone told me. I'm trying to remember the exact word usage. It was something out of Ephesians, I believe, where it's like run the race, blah, 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 blah. And there's so many different ones. But he just, what did he say? He said, sometimes the best part of the triathlon, this is how he phrased it, is when you get to pass the baton to your teammate, and then you get to slow down, pause. Maybe it's not triathlon, it's when they do it in track. Slow down, decelerate, pause, and then get past it again. I need that phase where I slow down. And a lot of the time I don't have people in my life that I feel comfortable enough to ask to, let me take that baton and hand it to you. And you run with it for a bit, and then I'll pick it back up. Baton's probably the wrong word. But I've been doing that. It's been so blessing. But when you pass that baton to the wrong person, usually they freak out if you don't execute perfectly or if you're having issues with timing. And so I keep my circle tight usually. And I encourage everyone on this video, if you're still on here, which is ridiculous that someone's still on here, to remember that God is greater than the highs and lows is like the most common tattoo, I think, now. But it's so true. He is. But you know what? The highs and lows don't have to be high and low in your head. If you gain mental clarity and realize that God's always got you at all times, you could be with 1% feeling in your pinky and everything else paralyzed, and God knows your future. I'm not saying that happened to me. God knows every hair on your head, and he knows whether you're going to make it or not. And so I think sometimes it's time to celebrate the people who do make it through injuries or catastrophe or mental health, just as much as the people who don't. That's what Kenna is about. It's what the LLC we started is about. You'll see more about that. It's using someone's memory, in my opinion, to help the people that she was passionate about, which was everybody on earth that cared and was honest and treated her well. And so for me to do that, I gotta take care of my health. And I'm getting really good at that, all but the anxiety. So I'm out. And if you see flowers here, add to them. Stack them up. But no alcohol unless you're pouring it out. And if you want to be a part of that, just stack some flowers, man. And do it in the grass. Y'all have a good evening. How do I end this? Copy link. Nope. I think to post it, I have to do done.